JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Big thanks to Hugh Meyer, friend of mine. He posted on Twitter a very recent brand new set of FAQs from the SBA that give us a very clear-cut, easy example of the calculation for PPP forgiveness. The calculation for PPP forgiveness is the same for first draw, second draw, whether you got it in 2020 or in 2021. But this set of FAQs is very, very useful because you will be able to look up how you are taxed, which is Schedule C or Schedule F or a C Corp, an S Corp, or a partnership. And this includes also for the nonprofits. And it takes each one of those and breaks it down on what the forgiveness includes with examples, with the math, with line items. So it is extremely useful. I'm going to obviously put a link in the body of this for you to go to it. I've got other videos talking about PPP forgiveness, so I'm going to give you a link to those video playlists. There's nothing new that I see in these FAQs. There's nothing new in terms of, oh, that's how they're going to do it, other than it gives examples. And then remember, I've been following PPP, so it very well may be that you review this and go, oh, got it, that makes sense now. So that would be very useful to you. I'm more indicating that it's not a new calculation. It's not new information. What it is very clear-cut calculations, examples, what goes into each one. The one I've been talking about since last April is for the Schedule C filer, that all that is required for forgiveness is Schedule C, because the Schedule C filer is not an employee to themselves. The calculation is the only thing that is the requirement for the PPP forgiveness for the self-employed, whether Schedule C or Schedule F. Now, if you're a Schedule C filer or a Schedule F filer and you have employees, guess what? This FAQ goes through how you calculate your PPP forgiveness, line by line with an example. But in short, all it is two calculations for those that are self-employed, Schedule C, Schedule F. You determine the calculation of your PPP forgiveness based on your net income, if that's how you got PPP, or you base it on your Schedule C, Schedule F based on gross income, if that is how you got your PPP loan, plus the second calculation of your payroll to your employees. So I've done a number of videos indicating that the Schedule C filer, the Schedule F filer for the PPP that they get on them has nothing to do with payroll. And I understand you can look at an application and say, well, it says payroll cost right there. Well, the definition of payroll cost for a Schedule C filer, a Schedule F filer on themselves, the definition of payroll cost for them is simply the calculation based on Schedule C or Schedule F. So go to this FAQ. You'll see the examples. If you're still not sure, please click on this. You'll find your setup, and you will, I think, see how easy it is, especially for the Schedule C and Schedule F filer. It doesn't override the other FAQs that we know of that are the ones that came out related to the other aspects of forgiveness. I would say this FAQ is really the one that is providing examples in pretty much every FAQ. So to ensure that you have the other set of FAQs that are also massively useful related to PPP forgiveness, I will also put a link to those FAQs. Those FAQs are on the SBA website, but I'll give you a direct link to those as well. And then I'll note to you, because I'm giving you a link to the PPP website, that when you go to any of the forgiveness applications, they have all been expanded in March to include also more instructions, more information of what is included in payroll costs or rent or utilities or interest. Again, for the Schedule C and the Schedule F filer, I feel it even made clear in those instructions, your PPP is based on, in essence, only the calculation, but this most recent FAQ that came out from the SBA that this whole video is about will drive that home to you because of the examples and the calculations in that. All right, hey, listen, if you, excuse me, if you are getting your source of information from others, which I'm sure you are, great. But make sure that you're not just hearing what somebody told you or reading an article and somebody's just telling you. Always get the source information. Pretty much every video that I put together, I give you the links to the source that you can read for yourself and apply to yourself, because that is the final determination for everything. That is what the banks are relying on, the SBA is relying on. So be sure that regardless of where you're getting your information, it helps enlighten you, great. But be sure that you're going to the source. That's the one difference I feel that you get with my channel. And I'm a practicing CPA, 28 years of experience, so I am interacting with my clients on these very issues. And so in essence, when I put together videos, it is you listening in to what I'm advising my clients of. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Have a great one.